You can follow the NCAA basketball tournament all month long with the Bracket Breakdown series on the Amazon Fire TV channels and with the Locked On College Basketball and Locked On Women's College Basketball podcast. Just look for the Bracket Breakdown on the WKYC Plus app. It's up there now. Today's show also, as always, sponsored by FanDuel. March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when their first $5 bet wins. That is $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even who's going to cut down the nets. We have John Fanta coming on the show tomorrow to help us break down and pick a perfect bracket. The FanDuel app is simple to use. When you win, you get paid instantly. There's no waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and get on the college hoops action all tournament long. We talked about the Cavs in the micro earlier. Let's talk about them in the macro now. 56-11 on the season, G. Bush. We had talked about the pursuit of 70 wins and whether or not that was possible, plausible, what their chances were. Only two teams have ever won 70 regular season games or more. At 56-11, they have to go 14-1 over the final 15 games to reach that 70-win club. Is that still in play for the Cavs, or should that be just a secondary thought completely behind all the other things that they have to get right before the playoffs?
Man, I'm just trying to get – listen, if I could get it, I want to get home court. I want to get home court in the East first and foremost. That looks like that's going to be a lock. I also want to get home court during the NBA Finals, but that's going to be tough because, Oklahoma City is just as good as the Cavs, and it's towards the end of the season, and the way the Cavs is playing this thing is they've been sitting Donovan Mitchell. A couple of nights ago, they sat Hunter and Jerome. They've been giving other people. The only guy that hasn't really got any time off is Jared Allen because he says he wants to play all 82 games. So I think, Kenny is going to allow him to try to do that. But with that, he's been very limiting his minutes down the stretch. You see now you get to a point where you're seeing less and less Allen and Mobley on the floor at the same time. And so it's going to be a difficult thing to get to 70. I'm not really pressed about it at the end of the day. It's just about making sure everybody is ready to go. I still want to see Hunter in the starting lineup. I still want to see him be able to play with those core four. Now, we don't know if he's going to do that. I do believe that he's going to go into the playoffs and he's going to start Max Strus until – I think he's going to give Max Strus the leeway until something looks bad, until somebody tortures him or, the Cavs may lose a game or something. And he said, okay, I'm going to put him in the starting lineup, line him now to get him acclimated. But other than that, I'm not really worried about the 70. You can't beat the Warriors. They can't get their record. And, 66 is cool. I think that's the franchise record. But I ain't really pressed about it.
If I'm the Cavs, I'd probably, if I had to pick a number, and I don't think they're thinking this way. They're going day to day. But if I'm the Cavs, I would pick a number of 67. I think that gets you two things. It gets you the team record, and I think it also gets you the number one overall seed. There's no guarantee that'll happen. I don't think that Oklahoma City is going to they'd have to go like 16-3 down the stretch, something absurd like that, which is doable. These are two of the best three teams in the league. But I think if you wanted to go for something, and I don't really subscribe to that school, go for the number one overall seed. That is a goal that's attainable. They've already locked up, for all intents and purposes, they are the one seed in the East. There's there's a tiny path for the Celtics to pass them. It includes them basically winning 90% of their games and the Cavs losing 90% of their games, and that's not going to happen. So I think they're locked up in the one for the East. That's your main goal. Jason said this earlier. It's far more important they have home court in the Eastern Conference Finals than it is the NBA Finals. All that being said, your mission isn't to make it to the NBA Finals. Your mission is to win it. And there is no question you have a better chance winning it if you get 4 games at home instead of 3. Doesn't mean you're going to, just improves your chances. So if you're going for a number, go for that.
Are you sure Oklahoma City's making the finals?
No, not at all. In fact, right now the Lakers look pretty damn good.
Absolutely.
Golden State looks pretty damn good.
Absolutely. That's my point.
Yeah, right.
OKC is the only team that you would lose. You're in any threat to lose it to anyway, and there's no guarantee
none
OKC makes it.
Especially
there.
the way the Lakers are playing.
That's a good point.
With Luka, now I know LeBron. They've taken a turn down since LeBron's been
LeBron
hurt,
wanted to
but
go see the state championship.
That's
game.
exactly right. When LeBron comes back, they're going to be I said this to somebody a couple of weeks ago after watching them twice with Luka. I said, they're a championship caliber team.
They're a problem.
And this person looked at me like I was nuts. I said, what? I said, they are a championship caliber team.
Yeah.
LeBron is still LeBron. He's not prime LeBron, but he's still LeBron. And can he be prime LeBron for a 7-game final series? Yeah, I think he can still do that.
Luka got to the finals last year with Kyrie. Who is a better teammate to get to the finals, Kyrie or LeBron?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, SGA can get 50. Somebody else gonna have to do something.
Oh, and they have the.
They got him.
a deep team.
They got him. Don't
But to
disrespect him.
Jason's point, if you're in the West and you're projecting who your opponent might be, it's down to 2 teams. If you're in the East and you're looking who it might be,
There's 4.
It's at least 3 and probably 4.
Yeah.
If you're being honest with
Yeah,
yourself.
I would pick OKC to make the finals. If
I
you're
would too.
Gun to the head, you
Safe
got to
bet.
pick somebody. I'd pick OKC.
But
it's
Golden
by no
State-
means a lock.
Golden State is better since the deadline.
Since Butler.
The Lakers are decidedly better.
Yeah.
And the path to the finals, to me, is more difficult in the West just because there's more teams that can
And
count.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not.
Yeah, Joker.
I'm not. I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
I ain't
don't count them out.
Do not count out championship DNA.
right.
Denver's still there. Houston's the
matters.
second best team in the West. We haven't even mentioned
I know.
Houston.
I know.
So
the
there's-
West is a beast.
Yeah. So that's a long. So I guess that's a really long-winded way of saying I don't care what the Cavs record is at this point. It doesn't matter. Now 66, 67 would be nice for what you said. It's a franchise record. Like you've done something now that no LeBron team did, and that's important, Dan.
Yep.
Dan still wants to do things that LeBron never did.
That's right.
So winning 67 games is a feather in that cap. Obviously, winning a championship without him would be huge for him. But
That's crazy.
That would be Dan's cherry on top.
it would.
I mean,
100%.
Because he would have been able to not only do it without LeBron, but do it while LeBron is still playing
Still
in the
active
league
in
and
the
still
league.
a factor.
Imagine beating LeBron today.
Oh, my God. That would be, if he beats the Lakers in the NBA championship, Dan can ride off into
Talk
the
about
sunset.
victory laps.
Yeah,
getting
that
statues.
is
God in
it.
heaven.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna lie, bro. If Cavs win the championship without LeBron, they creeping on the Browns. I'm telling you, they creeping.
I don't think anybody will ever surpass the Browns.
I didn't say surprise, but they're creeping.
No,
If I got, think about it. If I am the younger generation. If I'm a young person and I say, yo, what do you want to go to? You want to go to the Cavs game or a Browns game? I'm picking the Cavs.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, but the masses still go with the
I
Browns.
see it with my oldest in his generation. The Browns have lost a generation of fans.
I've
said it before. My oldest is Alexander is 23. And those guys and their young I've mentioned this before.
don't care.
They don't say
when these guys have expendable income 10 years from now, 15 years from now, you think they're going to buy season tickets to watch that crap?
No way.
I got
They're not.
little
Because
cousins.
it's been crap their whole life.
Absolutely.
I got little
they're not
cousins
even
that-
fans.
no,
There's some that are.
no.
Of course there are.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that aren't.
I got cousins that don't even like. If you say Browns, they're like, "What is that? Like, why would I like?" They don't like the colors. They don't root for them.
Yeah.
They don't turn the TV on Sunday. They are in another world.
The Browns
Are the Cavs filling that void? Like, the Browns losing interest, is that Cavs gaining, or is it other teams outside of the
They
city?
keep hanging banners, yes.
I mean, LeBron created a generation of basketball fans that previously did not exist in this
Here.
city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in this city.
And now you're getting a second wave of that.
Yes.
With the
And-
younger kids today.
And you're bringing back people that was pissed at LeBron for leaving during the decision that said, "I don't like the way basketball is played." And then now you got a team that with a bunch of likable people, and they like the way. So now they're like, "Oh, I like the Cavs. I watch them." My mom didn't really watch the Cavs too much after LeBron left. Like my whole family was like, they watched the Guardians, and so they watched the Guardians, of course, the Browns. But I'm with Jason. There's a lot of young people.
The Browns are being propped up by our generation.
Yeah.
That's it.
40s and above.
And we're aging out.
And I don't want to paint with a broad brush here and make it sound like nobody in their 20s likes the Browns. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But it's not what it was.
Jason, there was a time when me and all of my friends, our Christmas lists every year, this was mine. Anything Browns, I don't care.
Facts. I remember that. Anything
Baseball
Browns.
cap,
Anything.
wool cap,
Anything.
with the beanie on top.
I ain't heard a list like that in a minute.
Jacket,
Anything
sweatshirt.
Browns.
Yep.
Just that was it.
Yep.
And because obviously it was in that heart, not just the heart of their season, but it was in the heart of the playoffs coming around the corner. And they were always in the mix. This generation, first of all, they're fashion conscious. Like LeBron used to say, you got any orange and brown suits?
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
You look good in orange and brown?
Yeah.
Does anybody look good in orange and brown?
Yeah.
I love
He's been on
LeBron's
that for
rant
years.
on that.
You should hear it off the record. What do you
Well,
have to say
I was
about
there at the facility one day when he was off the record talking about it.
Yeah.
And he,
That might have been the day, actually, because there was one day where he just went
well,
crazy.
I'd asked him a question about it, and he looked at me and he goes, you got any orange and brown suits in your closet?
Yeah.
And I said, no. And he goes, why not?
That might have been the day.
I was there. I think you were there.
There was
I
one
was
day.
in for, it might have been media day when he came back. And he was done.
Yeah.
And then he was just holding court.
Yeah.
And it was all off the record. And he said, he goes, you got an orange and brown suit in your closet? Why not?
Yeah.
Does anybody ever put on anything orange and brown and say, now I feel good? And he was right.
Yeah.
And so this younger generation, it's okay if they've won 3 of the last 4 Super Bowls, then they make that color scheme cool. But when you suck and you wear colors that suck,
Yeah.
you feel like you...
And plus, they got a different experience than we do. Like the Bills fans have a completely different experience because, yeah, y'all lost last year, but guess what? You have a new year and
They're
you got a
winning,
quarterback.
and they're in the hunt.
Joe Burrow and them. Like,
And their colors are red and blue.
They have somebody they could be like, oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we get excited about Josh every year. For the next 10 years, they're going to be
Mahomes.
relevant.
Hey, Pat, you know what? Look. I know you lost to the Super Bowl. We'll be back. Lamar Jackson. Hey, look, those guys every year they feel they're going to be back. We never have that. So you got to deal with that, the colors, and taking L's, and you ain't got nobody to cheer for, bro.
Yeah, it really is an interest. And here's the funny thing: they're building a stadium, or there's a plan to build a stadium that's going to be there for a very long time, and their hardcore fans are dying.
Yeah.
The vast majority of their fan base has seen no more than 5 playoff wins in their entire lives. The vast majority of their fan base.
Look, think about it. We started hearing those. I'm not lying to you. I used to always hear people, because you guys are older than me, they talk about losing their parents, right? And their parents, you'd be like, my grandparents' parents didn't get to see a championship. And I always thought, well, listen, I'm like 20.
You'll see one.
He'll see one.
Yeah, now you're 40.
Now he's 67. He getting up there, and now it's like, well, dang, that might not really go down like that. It's just like
You get desperate.
you be like, come on, what are we doing here, bro? We look, and every single year that passed, that's why when people get so angry about these rebuilds don't just be rebuilds. These are milestones.
Another lost opportunity.
You're passing in your life.
And what's crazy is, and we're going to talk about which sport is hardest to be a general manager in. There is no league more set up for everyone to get their chance at winning
Than the NFL.
Yeah, look at the Lions.
There's 32 teams.
It's like a Ferris wheel.
It's like a Ferris wheel.
You're
When
gonna go down,
when you're
but
good,
you're gonna come back up.
You should be down here in the talent acquisition
But you're going to
cycle.
come back up.
Yeah.
Every team is on the Ferris wheel except one.
And here's what's frustrating.
The Browns
to me.
are in the corner throwing up in the trash can.
Since the Browns were relevant the last time, the Bills have gone through 2 relevant cycles.
Yeah.
The Steelers never leave
They
the
never got
relevant
off.
cycle.
They never got off.
They're on the Ferris wheel for life. They're setting the record.
And the
They
Ravens
stay in the top.
and the Ravens, who were us, became the Ravens and never got off the
Ravens
cycles.
have gone through 2 different Super Bowl winning efforts, and they're in a 3rd right now. And they used to be us. And so in a league where you're saying, if you do the math,
The Lions.
the
the
Lions,
godforsaken
but
Lions.
if you do the math, every 32 years, you should win.
That's crazy.
It's going on double that for us. And we've never been to a Super Bowl. There are 5 franchises that have never been to a Super Bowl. How is it possible one of the cornerstone franchises in the league has never made it to its signature game?
The Panthers went. The Cardinals
Like their
went.
5th year.
So we're in agreement. 70 wins going to be tough for the Cavs, and the Browns, they got to figure this out. But